It will be a free discussion of an adult topic, a topic that we feel merits public examination.
Welcome to Watch Mojo, and today we're counting down our picks for the top 10 movies banned in America but not anywhere else.
I don't mean to start an argument or sound pretentious, but that's the way I feel about it.
I never heard that before.
Well, something we should go into sometime.
For this list, we'll be looking at various movies that have faced bans in the United States. Have you seen any of these films? What did you think? Let us know in the comments. Number 10, If You Love This Planet. This isn't really a traditional movie.
Energy equals the mass of the atom by the speed of light squared. An incredibly profound revelation.
Rather, it's a filmed lecture given by prominent Australian anti-nuclear activist Dr. Helen Caldicott. Caldicott's 30-minute lecture at SUNY Plattsburgh was filmed and distributed by the National Film Board of Canada. Released at the height of Cold War tensions in 1982, it was meant to educate the general population on nuclear weapons. The United States Department of Justice was not happy with its content and banned the film, calling it, quote, foreign political propaganda. This was met with derision, and the ban was eventually lifted.
Don't take no for an answer. Don't take no for an answer. It must be done.
Not only that, but the film went on to win Best Documentary Short Subject at that year's Oscars.
You will realize that you're going to have to change the priorities of your life if you love this planet.
Number 9, Two-Faced Woman. This romantic comedy was made as a desperate attempt to save Greta Garbo's waning career.
Well, if you don't want to ski, Mr. Blake, you'd better go back to the hotel and make other arrangements.
Oh, but I do.
Instead, it caused significant controversy and was a box office flop. Garbo plays a married woman who pretends to be her fake twin sister in order to woo her estranged husband.
It's, my wife's twin sister.
Really? How quaint.
The general plot and many suggestive scenes were considered immoral in 1940s America, and the Archbishop of New York condemned it. It was subsequently banned in numerous American cities, including Boston. The movie underwent reshoots to alter objectionable material, and the censored version was released without incident.
You look radiant.
As a matter of fact, I'm better than ever.
The original cut still exists, but it is exceedingly rare. Number 8, The Thorn. Originally released as The Greatest Story Overtold, The Thorn is a religious satire starring Bette Midler as the Virgin Mary.
You're not Mary. I am from God.
Oh, thank God. How is she?
Following its premiere at the Detroit Institute of Art, the movie was retitled The Divine Mr. J and released in New York City. The title was a reference to Midler's debut album, The Divine Miss M, and Midler wasn't happy. She sued the studio for using her intellectual property in its title and marketing. Midler won the case, and the movie was banned. It was then re-released on VHS in 1984, now under the title The Thorn.
Is this the nativity scene? The one that they're going to be talking about for years to come?
However, the title change wasn't enough for the courts, and the movie was again banned. It has remained so, but a VHS rip can easily be found online.
And here's a diaphragm with a special prayer on it called "Forgive me, for I know not what I do."
Number 7, Flaming Creatures. Released in 1963, Flaming Creatures is a short experimental movie with a runtime of just over 40 minutes, and it drew immediate criticism for its sexual content. Some cinemas refused to show it, and police raided one venue, arresting 4 people and confiscating the film reel. 3 of them were convicted of obscenity charges, although this was overturned by the New York Supreme Court. That didn't stop the police raids, however, which continued throughout the 1960s. It would be decades until the controversial movie reemerged for public showings. Number 6, Portland Exposé. A film noir from the late 50s, Portland Exposé stars Edward Binns as a tavern owner who gets mixed up with union gangs.
You ready to sign? I told you before, I can hang on for a year, closed tight. You'll be closed all right.
The story was loosely inspired by the criminal career of Jim Elkins, a crime boss who operated in the Portland area around the time of the movie's release.
I suppose they would call my business a racket. But if I hadn't run it, somebody else would.
The movie was scheduled to open in Portland on August 14, 1957, but dozens of people allegedly involved in Elkins' criminal empire threatened to sue.
You back again? That's right, Mr. Madison.
According to the booking agent who canceled the premiere, up to 40 individuals came forward to make threats. The agent capitulated to their demands, and the movie was banned within a 30-mile radius of Portland.
Catch all of it?
Enough?
Those files, we could be in front of the grand jury tomorrow.
Number 5. Kiss Tomorrow Goodbye. This film really should have worked.
But unfortunately, the 8th, the man who motivated this whole vicious and sinister crew, the most evil man of all, is not present.
It was released at the height of the film noir craze, and it starred James Cagney, who was fresh off the Oscar-nominated White Heat. Unfortunately, it received poor reviews and faded into obscurity. This was quite a dour film for its time, filled with killings, an amoral and unlikable protagonist, police corruption, and even hints of sadomasochism. It was all too much for the Ohio Film Board, and the movie was banned in the state.
All I want is to be let alone.
In their own words, Kiss Tomorrow Goodbye was, quote, a sordid, sadistic presentation of brutality and an extreme presentation of crime with explicit steps in commission.
What are you so gloomy about? You're off the hook, aren't you? You don't owe anybody anything.
Except maybe society.
Number 4, Promises, Promises. This film has a notable place in Hollywood history. Starring Playboy playmate Jane Mansfield, it's the first sound movie to feature a major star in the nude.
Here I am, Eddie.
Hi, sweetheart. I was just having a drink. Join me?
Oh, no, thanks. It's not 5 yet.
Nudity in film was explicitly banned under the Hays Code, a form of self-censorship that all the major studios adhered to. However, the code's power had largely dwindled by the early 60s, resulting in more risque productions.
Promise her anything if you're in love.
Mansfield's disrobing was the primary draw for the film, and she marketed her movie by posing in Playboy. This in turn resulted in obscenity charges against Hugh Hefner, although he was acquitted. The movie was similarly met with controversy and banned in many U.S. cities.
I like the way you put that.
Did you?
You're out of your mind.
Number 3, Bicycle Thieves. Often regarded as one of the greatest movies ever made, Bicycle Thieves is considered a masterpiece of the Italian neo-realist movement.
Ma se può dato la matricola, i connotati?
Capirai, ci vorrebbe tutta la squadra mobile solo per stare a cercare le biciclette.
Ma allora che la faccia fa sta denuncia?
In 1950, it was honored with an Oscar nom for Best Screenplay and received an honorary award for being the most outstanding foreign language film. Despite its recognition, Bicycle Thieves also caused considerable controversy in the U.S.
Ho messo il suocero.
A casa io dico io, mamma.
A casa fammi i conti.
In March 1950, the Motion Picture Association banned the movie throughout the United States for containing lurid sequences. These included scenes inside a bordello and a sequence in which a little boy urinates.
Quelli sono tutti testimoni a favore suo. Perdi tempo e di queste storie ne vedo tutti I giorni.
Number 2, Birth Control. It's amazing what 100 years can do.
What you're about to witness is an unrehearsed, uncensored interview on the issue of birth control.
The United States of 1917 is a pretty alien place to us now, not just technologically, but morally and legally as well. In that year, sex educator Margaret Sanger released Birth Control, a short documentary about family planning.
I don't like to see people suffer. I don't like to see cruelty, even to this day.
Sanger was a prominent birth control activist who opened the first clinic of its kind in the United States, educating women about the use of diaphragms in particular. This documentary helped spread her message, but was met with fierce condemnation. 2 years earlier, the U.S. Supreme Court had ruled that movies were not protected under free speech. As such, Sanger's documentary was banned, quote, in the interest of morality, decency, and public safety and welfare. Sadly, it's been lost.
Did you do this to yourself? Couldn't afford another baby right now.
Before we continue, be sure to subscribe to our channel and ring the bell to get notified about our latest videos. You have the option to be notified for occasional videos or all of them. If you're on your phone, make sure you go into your settings and switch on notifications.
Number 1, The Birth of a Nation. This silent epic drama film remains one of the most controversial movies ever made. While praised for its technological advancements, the movie received widespread criticism for its revisionist history and racist tone. It seemingly champions white supremacy by depicting the Ku Klux Klan as heroic and portraying African Americans as unintelligent and violent. The movie helped contribute to racial segregation in the U.S. and even resulted in the reemergence of the KKK, which had disbanded over 40 years earlier. In response to protests and racial violence, a few U.S. states and cities ended up banning the movie.
One of the efforts was to try to get it shut down.
To see the birth of a nation. People look at this film and they say, this is what we are fighting against.
Do you agree with our picks? Check out this other recent clip from WatchMojo, and be sure to subscribe and ring the bell to be notified about our latest videos.